What's up, YouTube? This is Team Rhinoki. I'm John.
I'm Donnie.
Yeah! Alright, guys. This past couple weeks, we've done to a couple locals. We said we were going to get a video up saying how we did. I've done about 3 of them with Mama Dolces in the time of the video. So we're going to go over that. He's going to go over Fire Fists because that's what he plays. 1 of 6 decks.
It's me.
Recently at the locals I went to with Mama Dolces, I've gotten the top 4, top 8 of all the locals, depending how big the tournament was. Just today, the most recent one, I made top 4. I was number 4. With the build I actually uploaded, same cards, everything. Did pick up my TG Werewolves today, so that's going to be, go over that later in another vid. Talk about how that's working out. He played Fire Fist. How'd you do?
I did awful. What did I beat? First round I beat a Gem Knight deck, and the guy was kind of surprised, and I don't know why. Gem Knights aren't that great.
I mean, he might have thought he was hot shit.
He clearly thought he was hot shit. And then after that second round, I played John, and I lost.
Dolce's beat Cupcake.
Yeah, I won game 1, and then game 2 and 3, he got the OTKs when all I had set was like a 10 sin, and couldn't do crap.
I mean, that's the beauty of Madolches. If you don't have a way to stop our initial effect, the OTK is almost guaranteed.
Tiramisu getting rid of the monster both times is what did it for me. And then game 3, I played against Dark World. I personally have never played well against Dark World. Dark World kicks my butt all the fucking time. And then round 4, I ended up against John again. He had a better record, so I just scooped right out because he had a better chance of topping.
Which is crazy that I had to play down. I was 2-1. He was
1-2.
Yeah, 1-2. But I had to play down. I was a little upset about that, but hey,
Yeah, so. I'm dirt.
Well, I mean, today, yes.
And that's kind of what we do, too, at tournaments. If one of us is doing better in the tournament, we'll just scoop, just because that person has a better chance of winning higher and getting more prizes.
See, here at Team Rhinoki, it's not about the individual. We're one.
We are one.
We are Legion.
Yes,
we are one.
Legion.
That's right. But yeah, because in the end, the prize support, whether it be packs or store credit, it benefits us both. Or, if we ever get to pick up another team member, it's going to get to benefit us all.
Right.
So, we got to look at the greater good.
And we got crap tonight. There's nothing in the packs, regardless.
Silver letters. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I still got 4th. This was actually our first time going to this local. It's actually local for me. It was a little more of a drive for Donnie here.
There was a lot of Fire Fists there. Fire Fists are being very hyped right now.
Speaking of hype, Donnie, what do you think is going to be just top 5 even? Let's just top 5 because there's a lot of different decks, and we will try to cover a good chunk of them. I mean, we both play a lot of different decks, but what do you think are going to be the top 5 decks for this format? Starting with number 5, what do you think is going to be the weakest out of those 5 down to the number 1?
Well, I can't really say. What I like right now is a lot of decks are pretty even. A lot of decks have the same chance. Constellars, Fire Fists. I think Agents are going to make a comeback. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but I think they're going to do some surprise work at these upcoming regionals. Other than that, I mean, I don't think Madolches will top a lot. I think your Madolches will do pretty well, but I'm just saying not a lot of people are going to be playing it, is what I'm saying.
And it's a pretty easy deck to get around. I mean, let's be fair. My opening move determines everything. So Effect Veiler, Breakthrough Skill, guys, just saying, these are hints on how to beat this deck.
Fiendish Chain.
Breakthrough Skill, Fiendish Chain, Veiler. Yeah, I mean, fuck, even, what is it, Cup or Chalice? The thing that's like, oh, fuck the effect.
Chalice,
yeah, fucking Chalice my little cat. Oh, now you have
but against 400 attack.
Oh, so my God.
900 cat's going to tear some shit up.
1400 with the field.
Yeah, 1400. But, no, I think Fire Fists and Constellars are probably the most hyped right now.
What about all the hype that's surrounding Bujins? I mean...
Bujins are going to keep being hyped, and I don't think they're going to do that great. I mean, they're a good deck, but they rely too much on their setup.
Yeah.
And they can't come back very well either.
See, I mean, I guess that is the beauty. Like, my deck does. Madolches revolve all around the setup, but, all my shit goes right back.
Yeah.
So.
And you can replay you can get your field back in no time.
But
Bujins, they're going to get Hare and Peacock in this next pack. Both of those cards will help them a fair bit, but I still don't see the deck being one of the top decks.
And it's overloading an already full deck.
Yeah, the deck's already got space issues anyway, and I feel the same way about Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers have a lot of hype, but the condition for their two new cards, their Infirmity Barrier and their Vanity's Emptiness, they have to have a face-up monster, a face-up Gravekeeper, and a face-up Necro Valley. And it's going to be real easy to disrupt those plays. And I mean, anyone who's playing against the deck will know what to expect.
This is true, and they're dark, so
Yeah, it's not tough to get
all
around.
powerful shadow imprisoning mirror.
Right, and Consecrated Light.
Oh, fuck that card. For those of you who don't know, I do play Evil Swarm also, and Consecrated Light is what won a Fire Fist player against me because I couldn't get my shit out quick enough. He's like, haha, I'm better than you. So,
But to be fair, you didn't realize you could set your monsters.
we're not supposed to talk about my failures online.
Yeah.
But yes, I didn't know you could set the monster and flip it. I was just
Right.
like, oh, well, fuck, man, maybe you just can't play
Can't
it.
do anything.
I mean, I am returning to the game. I took a very, very long hiatus.
We both did.
Yeah.
And we're playing pretty scrubbish. But,
So,
John's playing with the
I'm fucking the
computer.
cameras up. Oh my god. Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't feel like I was getting enough.
I like how
airtime.
you just basically moved it like half an inch.
But it put me where I'm not like this. I'm like this.
People can't take the full of John. You can only give it to him like half at a time.
This is true. All 2 inches, so half of that.
So what do you think, John? What are your predictions here for this
Oh
upcoming
man.
format?
Number five. You know, man, it's like you. It's hard to say number 5, but
It's hard to say any of
It
them.
is.
Until after January, we'll have a much better idea.
I think
Because the format and the new pack will be out. And
I think-
that new pack's going to introduce 2 very popular Exceeds that everyone's going to be using.
this is true. Number 5, though, I still have to put it Spellbooks. It's still a deck. I'm happy Fate's gone. I think it should have been banned. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah.
But Fate is at 1. It's still there. The deck is still there. It's consistent. It recycles resources like no other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can't Fate you every turn, but they can Fate you on the really important shit. And there's other back row now they can run in there.
The thing is, they're going to have to rely more on their monsters, their boss monsters, World of Prophecy and Priestess, both of which can do very well. I agree, Spellbooks are a very good deck. It's just they're not slower. They just lost their out. They
But
lost their
basically,
out to everything.
They got slowed down to this format speed, which is what every deck needed.
yeah.
Spellbooks and Dragons were just on top of
Yeah,
shit.
and spellbooks, like he said, are still very good right now. It's just I don't think anyone cares anymore. They lost their brokenness, so a lot of people are like, "Fuck this game."
Yeah. Personally, in number 4, I think it's actually 2 different decks. They basically play the same. There's actually 3 types of this one, but we'll get into the third one in a minute. I think number 4 is going to be the Thunder Family and Evil Swarm. Now, I know he doesn't agree with that,
I don't.
but my reasoning is the decks play the same. They're rank 4 spam. It's I summon this, I summon this. I think it's who can open better, but I think that's going to be at the number 4 spot just for the simple fact it's like Evil Swarm has its own personal lance. I mean, Ophion,
agree. Evil
and
Swarm's crazy,
Ophion
bro.
searches that lance
Yeah.
out. Ophion isn't going to get touched. Let's face it. Evil Swarm's never going to be like a huge problem, even with Ophion.
No, they're always going to sit very well in like the shadows. They're always going to be right
Exactly.
there, ready to jump.
And they're always going to be that control deck that... And then, like Thunder Family, they can work around cards like Macrocosmos. They can work around Vanity's Emptiness. Things that are going to slow everybody else down. So you play yours, and you're like, fuck you. And you play around it. And then let's not forget Key Beetle. 2 level 4 darks. Oh, look, I'm gonna Key Beetle my fucking Vanity's Emptiness. You're not special summoning shit.
Yeah, and I agree that Evil Swarm is a very viable deck, and it's still going to be very good. It's just it's not going to top.
Oh, no.
It's going to do what it did last format, probably a little
Piss
bit better.
people off.
Yeah, it's going to be.
But that's why I put it at number 4. It and Thunder Family are the same. Like,
Thunder Family, I disagree with. I don't see Thunder Family as that big of a deal. Every build I've played against, which is really just 2 people, I've stomped both times. And it's a good deck, it's consistent, and this is going to be a rank 4 format, as far as I'm concerned.
But with things like Shark Knight and, the new Evil Swarm monster, which should be Evil Swarm exclusive. I'm sorry, I'm biased.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, well, no, never mind. Evil Swarm might get noticed by Konami's ban list.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with, Thunder Family, they recycle resources. I mean, you fucking Seahorse and that one, they have one Thunder that's like, oh, banish it and bring it back to your hand. You get to
Sis
keep...
Hunter.
Yeah, Sis Hunter. You keep getting that rank 4 play through that. It's a dirty loop.
I know, but again, I don't see them... It's decent, but I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of Thunder Family.
Agreed. Man, at my number 3 spot, I gotta say Girgias. I'm seeing a lot of hype around Girgias. I've seen a lot of different builds for it. There's Girgia plants, there's Girgia Karakuris. Not really sure which one's going to be better.
Gearshire Karakuri's are the ones I think that are going to do it. Because,
I mean,
they synchro, they exceed, and they're real fast, and they're real
And
consistent.
that's how the plant engine is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we'll see. I think Geargias are going to be number 3. I put him at number 3. I keep hearing a lot of talk about their new monster, Augur. Not really sure what he does. Me, personally, I've never done a play Geargias. This guy is thinking about doing it.
I am going to.
So, actually, you YouTubers should see a Geargia video up here soon. Which is awesome.
In a while. I still need to actually build the deck and actually learn it.
That is very true. But we are going to try to cover a wide variety of decks.
Yeah. I'm working on 6 decks specifically, 1 for each attribute, just because I'm bored.
Definitely. Number 2, I got to give it up to Mermails. I think Mermails
are going to do pretty well.
They didn't get touched in this last ban list. I think people forgot they're there.
Yeah, that's what I think happened too.
They were like Dragon's little brother, little sister, and Dragons were like, "Yo, bitch, you're not up yet.
Yeah,
we're still around."
Mermails are the water deck I'm going to do, and I love the deck. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm still working on it. But I know Tidal going to 1 slows down their rank 7 exceeding. And I think that is enough to keep them right down there. I don't think they're going to be the top. I think, that, like I said before, I think it's going to be a couple decks that are going to be right on par with each other. But,
and my number 1 spot, just like my number 4, I got to give it up to a tie. I think Fire Fists and Constellars. I think Constellars and Fire Fists are going to make the biggest impact this format. Just for the simple fact, like the number 4 spot, Constellar can work around Vanity's Emptiness, Macrocosmos. Pallades is fucking dirty.
Yeah.
M7, very easy M7. They have their own built-in Lance Monster, Omega.
Yeah.
And then Fire Fist, same reason. They don't special summon a lot, so if they just want to say Vanity's Emptiness, what are you going to say to that? I mean,
it's true.
And then, I mean, it's Fire Fists.
Yeah, I love Fire Fists. Like, my video, I've bloated. I said a couple things wrong. Like I said, I said something about Tinkin working with Wolfbark and protecting it, but then it negates its effect, so that's pointless. It can still save your Wolfbark from any kind of destruction, but I mean, yeah, I think Fire Fists are going to do real well. Fire Kings are also getting a lot of hype right now,
but
I personally don't think they'll do it. A lot of people think they will. I think they're too hyped.
I could see them in the top 10. If we had to do a top 10 list, which we might do a top 10 list,
After regional.
Yeah,
after we get an idea for what's going to be.
We are planning to go to the regional down here in Texas, January 11th, I believe. It'll be
Fort Worth.
DFW, Fort Worth. So hope to see y'all there. I mean, come find me. I'm pretty loud, obnoxious, so shouldn't be too hard to find me.
Not at all.
But I mean, I would definitely have to say Fire Kings are in a top 10 spot.
Yeah. And then like I said earlier, I think agents are kind of hiding out. I think they're going to try and surprise us at these upcoming regionals. I don't know. I played when agents were popular. I played right before they died.
I played an agent deck. Wasn't very good, but I actually played one back in the day.
Yeah,
when
I played
first
a couple.
came out.
I mean, they're a good deck. They're consistent, and I think they've got a good stun build. I know there's TG agents. I know there's plant agents. Plants are having a comeback.
It's all about them counter agents.
I don't think it's going to be Sylvans, but I think agents are going to see a lot of play, and I don't think they're going to do quite as well as some people think. But again, they've got a good chance at being in those top.
And I mean, that's the best part about this format. Nobody really knows what's in the top yet. But then again, it might just be this deck's better than this deck. I mean, you were telling me earlier that rock, paper, scissors format where
I think it's going to be a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. I think certain decks are going to do better against other decks and vice versa.
And I mean, I personally think it's just going to be who can open up better, who can prepare first. Yeah. I think going first is going to be so much more important.
It's always been important.
I mean, but when you're playing a dragon deck, you can't tell me that going first was the end all be all unless you got your Imperial Iron Walls and everything.
That's exactly what
unless if you drew them. I mean, it's 40 cards. There's always that possibility. Whereas dragons, it's like I'm going to do my plays regardless.
Yes.
So, I mean,
but dragons are gone now. I'm sure there's still going to be those rank 8 builds out there. And I'm sure they'll do well.
Rank 7, sir. Rank 7 is dragons.
Rank 8 builds are ones that use the mythic dragons and bring out Felgrand. Scrub. Right. But I think they'll still do pretty well, but again, they'll just kind of fall to the sideline. And I think same with Mermails. I don't think they'll really be the deck everyone goes for. I think it's going to be probably Constellars, Agents. Fire Fists have got a fair bit of hype, but I'm not so sure about.
You mean Fire Fist or Fire Kings?
Fire Fists.
Okay, Fire
I'm sure they'll be up there. I'm sure they'll be your top
Definitely.
5 or whatever, but
They're definitely not going to be the. I mean, all 5 of those decks have a spot. I mean,
yeah, I think
a
there's going to be a
possibility.
few different. I think there's going to be a couple, like 3 or 4 decks that are going to take the tops.
Exactly. And I mean, some other honorable mentions. We mentioned Fire Kings. Definitely going to do some good. Harpies. I mean,
I haven't seen them. Like everyone's
Yeah.
saying, Harpies are so great.
I keep like.
but
I'm
I have
always,
yet to see a good Harpy deck. And
I'm always online, Donnie. I'm always constantly doing my
Yeah,
research, trying to
yes.
find out what's going to do better.
playing on
You
Dual
know,
Network all the
exactly.
time.
I mean, not.
I
that,
hate Dual Network.
Yeah, it's a terrible way. Let's face it. That is a terrible way to test out your deck. But for me, it lets me know: do I really want to buy these cards? Do I really want to have Donnie trade for these cards? Because I don't trade; I just buy.
I trade mostly.
Yeah, he's better at it. Let's face it. But yeah, it's like, do I really want to do this? So that lets me test it out. Terrible way. I just can't get DevPro to work on my computer. I try.
I need to figure out Def Pro.
Yeah, eventually I'll get it working.
Yeah.
But you
But
know,
Harpies, I mean, everyone's saying how crazy broke Harpies are, but frankly, they hit Divine Wind. I mean, the Wisp of Mist Valley or whatever
it's at 1,
called.
and really
It's
all
at
that
1.
did, it killed
That
their
kills their loop. I mean, I don't see them doing so hot.
I mean, they can still spam rank 7s is what I'm seeing. I haven't tried the deck out personally, but people say they can spam rank
Yeah.
7s. So, I mean, it's one of those decks, we have a lot of the support for it, we have a lot of stuff, maybe we'll try it out.
They've got a pretty good chance.
You know, heck,
I might make that my win
Exactly.
deck. I'm trying out Mecha Phantom Beasts, and I can't make them stick.
I think he
I'm
needs to stick with the Mecha Phantom Beast.
I love mechas.
I'll try out these Harpy decks.
Them taking away
Which-
2 Tempests, though, killed it. I mean, like,
Well,
the build I had.
They killed the build you had.
I
but
need to get a more slower control focus.
slower
kind of
format.
thing.
You have that opportunity.
I really need to do that, but
Another
too many other
another
decks I
mention.
like
It's probably talked about in every video. Everybody always wants to say, "Man, what's it gonna do? How's it gonna do?" Dark Worlds. I don't know. Every format, everybody's like, Dark World. What's it?
Dark
hasn't
Worlds
done
are
shit.
like Dark Worlds are like Infernities. Both are really good decks, but it's easy to play around them. I can't play around Dark Worlds to save my life, but I think that's just like. I think I've lost so many Dark World decks when they were really good
He beat
that.
mine.
Well, yeah, be cheers, but I think I've lost so many of them. It's like ingrained in my brain that like I just back down as soon as I see that graph up.
And it's funny he mentions that because aside from his Fire Fist tonight, which I really thought I was going to lose to, because at our local, looking 100 Fire Fist players, and it seems like every week I'm losing to one Fire Fist player. That is my only loss at every local. Just about will be
You lost
one
another one, didn't
Fire. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
what knocked me out from the top 2 spot was a Fire Fist player.
Yeah.
If I had beat him, because I think he was number 1. He came in first for the tournament today.
I think so.
Yeah.
And he was running a 3. I think it was a 3-axis. I didn't see any 4s.
He had
Really?
Bear. I think that's the only one he
Well,
ran. was
everyone runs Bear.
Yeah,
though.
but he spammed a lot of different little synchros on me. I didn't really
Yeah.
pay too much attention to
Yeah.
their names. I was just like, what does
Yeah,
it do?
and I'm a pure 4-axis build. I don't want to mess with all that 3 crap
So,
since they
but,
limited
you know,
spirit.
and it makes you wonder because Fire Fist right there, they've got 2 different builds. So you've got Dose, 2 builds
Yeah.
for that number 1 spot. Could it be 3 axis? Can it still work? I mean, I got my ass stomped by it today.
For the most part, from what I've seen, 3.5 is what's really popular, using 3 and 4. But that guy seemed like he just had pure 3, and it still did really well.
So
But a couple of decks that are coming up, honestly, like Ghost Tricks. I love Ghost Tricks, one of my favorite decks. And they're getting a ton of support in this next pack.
they're getting some really broken support.
They're getting some annoyingly stupid support in this next pack.
If Dragons-
Mary and Skeleton.
Yeah, if Dragons were still a deck, if they were still a deck, that might be my top on favorite to be the Dragon Killer.
Yeah,
that
Ghost
would be
Tricks would hurt Dragons.
that would be the
pretty well.
Dragon Slayer. What is it? Ghost Trick Skeleton's like
Skeleton, yeah.
I have
Bashes it face down, so
yeah.
they're faster
I've got
to go.
five face up Ghost Tricks. The top 5 of your deck banished.
And I'm sure Dragons would still beat Ghost Tricks
Well,
because
yeah.
it's Dragons.
But if you had to say one deck was going to be the Dragon Slayer, it's like there it is. You know,
it was pretty good. But I think Ghost Tricks are going to see a lot more play. They won't top. They won't.
I don't know. It's one of those. They
might have a rogue deck that mains a side deck kind of topping thing, like we had with Medolches.
Gyria's won it that
Battle
way.
and Boxers, Gyria's.
Fuck Battle and Boxers. That deck is so
Battle and
easy to
Boxers
get around.
aren't going to win it either.
They're never going to be a top tier deck.
We've got a couple of people at our locals who are like, with Cheat Commissioner, the deck's broken. It's going to win everything.
Let's not forget Compulse is still a card. Book of Moon is still a card. Fiendish Chain, Breakthrough Skill.
Big Eye, Shark Knight.
Shark Knight. Excite Knight won't get around it. But there's so many cards to work around its effect.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? It's literally, it's more dependent on that boss monster than things like Evil Swarm and Boojins. I mean, it is, without Lead Yoke, that deck just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So,
And then another deck that I'm waiting to see the support for is Lightsworn. I love Lightsworn. It's the next deck I'm going to be working on, and I'm waiting for those tuners in that synchro. I'm hoping that we'll get them in this next pack, but we won't.
I mean,
We'll probably get them Primal Origin. They'll probably be the exclusives in Primal Origin.
I mean, it's a possibility. And like, speaking of Primal Origin, I'm playing Madolche here. I'm getting really into it. I haven't decided that's what I want to do for regionals coming January, but Madolche and Jelly, we get our own Lone Fire. Not as good as Lone Fire, but, you know, there's some ways to abuse it. So I'll probably go over that in my next Madolche video, have a quick discussion on Jelly with it.
And then Mecha Phantom Beasts get Oleon, which is pretty good. It's a pretty solid card.
Is that y'all's level 2?
Yeah, the level 2 tuner.
First turn.
Being a tuner is what makes it good. Because as soon as you send it for a synchro, you get a Mecha Phantom Beast token. It was the same way with Warblerin, but this one doesn't have any conditions. This one you can use for any synchro, not just machines, not just winds.
That is a plus. And I've seen a few people talk about it. First turn Draco Sax again with it.
That's what I've heard. But I haven't play tested it. I don't play on Dual Network. I hate Dual Network.
Is that coming out Primal Origin or Legacy?
Primal Origin is what is coming out.
See, that sucks. We're talking about cards that are going to be coming out.
I know. We're a couple months ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're really not going to come out until the next format, or even around the next format, I think.
It'll be right at the next format, because I think our next ban list is April 1st. Is that right?
April Fools. Oh, we're going to fuck with you. This is what Konami's going to do.
Dragons are back.
Yeah, Dragons are back with the babies in full force, guys. We trolled ya. We're not really killing the deck off. We just gave you a break.
And then I already talked about Gravekeepers. This next pack, I think it's mostly Gravekeepers and Boojins are getting more support.
Boojins. It's a hype deck, guys. All you got to do is stop their first turn monster. I mean, if you really think about it, that's it. You just got to stop a monster. How hard is that, really?
Keep them from searching, Mistake, like Macrocosmos screws them over. Fissure, Dimension Fissure, screws them over. Soul Drain, Mind Drain,
Skill Drain,
Mind Crush, because you're gonna know what's in their hand most of the time.
And I see that being a really key staple card in a lot of people's side deck, because a lot of decks are abusing Tenki.
Yeah.
Like Fire Kings, Fire Fist, Constellars. I didn't really see that one, but you know.
Wind-ups.
Donnie, that
Rest
deck.
in peace.
Yeah, that deck.
I love wind-ups. This is one of my favorite formats.
I mean,
loop, but
they killed your loop.
Yeah.
They killed your loop when you were topping. Like,
no, they killed it at about 6 months after I quit.
You mean after you sold all your shit?
After I sold all my shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tenki, I think Tenki's gonna get hit again in the next ban list.
I'm sure it will. Either that or.
But it may not.
Probably Tenki.
It's not being abused. It's not being abused by one deck solely. It's being abused by
a lot of decks can use it. That's why they brought it back to 3.
So it may not. We may not see it get hit. It may stay at 3.
Because, like I said, this is a 4-axis. This is a rank 4 format.
Well, that's yet to be determined, sir.
Oh, I'm certain it is, because they're trying to promote Shark Knight and Excite Knight, and they're trying to boost those pack sales. That's why they're giving us all these decks that make 4s so easily.
Let's be fair, guys. If Excite Knight was really Evil Swarm solely, you would see Evil Swarm just boom! People would find a way to make that shit top.
Oh, yeah.
And I probably will. I will probably try to find a way to make it top. I mean, if it nothing, top at my locals. That's what I was doing last format. Let's see. I beat Gravekeepers with it. I beat Dragons.
Boojins.
Fucking Boojins. They don't have shit on Evil Swarm. I don't care what anyone says. It's easy to get around that. You just have to know what you're doing.
Right.
But, yeah, fuck that. But fuck Boojins. Yeah. Damn, I think, I gotta say, the only deck I really had an issue with, personally, with my Evil Swarms, was Spellbooks.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that's just, I never came prepared to my locals for Spellbooks, because only one person really played Spellbooks good. I did beat the other Spellbook players up there.
Yeah.
They thought they were pretty good, but, not everybody can be, fucking elite with that deck, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just raffled me. Same guy that's actually been, he showed the Constellars, man. They're going to make a pretty big impact.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're talking about does he was stomped with Spellbooks because he knows the game. He's good with it.
Definitely
and now he's playing Constellars and he's stomping with them.
I like to think that I inspired him for Constellars. I mean, I want to think that because I play my Evil Swarm. I think a little bit different than a lot of other people. I did last format. I didn't rely on Ophion's ability as much as everybody kept saying, oh, that's all Ophion. And I didn't make Ophion every time either, so there's other cards to make. And I mean, when I play him, it was just like playing my mirror match, but with better fucking monster effects.
Yeah.
Pallades. Oh, and rank 5s. I only do rank 4s.
Right.
I guess the occasional rank 3 if I get it Encored, but never got that. But I kept them in there just in case.
Yeah.
But, man, what else can we cover right now? We've done what we think's going to be the next... Let's talk about a couple new upcoming decks. I know you're really hyped about Artifacts.
Let's save another video for that.
Save another video.
I think talking about future decks is something we should do solely in another video.
Okay. So, anyways, guys,
yeah,
that's what we think about this current format. What we think are the possible top 5. That, like I said, was our results from the local tonight.
Right.
And some previous locals for me. I managed to make it in top 4 with Medolces every time. I'm still fine tuning the deck.
Most people don't expect it, and that's what's gonna really win it is unexpected decks.
That's true. But yeah, I mean. Anyways, guys, please rate, subscribe, leave your comments. Let us know what you think is going to be in the top 5. Like I said, we already did our top 5.
Yeah, let us know.
I didn't want to do a top 10. We could probably do a top 10. We could probably do a top 10 and fit 20 decks in there, to be fair. Like, there's going to be so much competition for those top decks. Those were just my top 5, and really it came out to, what, top 7 for me?
Roughly.
Yeah, because I got a couple spots with 2 each.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, like I said, rate, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. Team Rhinoki, I'm John.
Donnie.
Later.